If you are starting out with real estate and you are a full-time employee and you're wondering how you're supposed to do it all, then this video is for you. I've coached agents through this season. To some degree, I've lived through this season, and trust me, there's a better way than burning out. In this video, we're going to talk about things that I think you need to know from day one in order to build a successful career as a dual career agent. So please tune in, like this video, subscribe. And if you know another dual career agent, share this content with them because I think this is going to be a video that really helps you understand how to build your business in the most effective way. My name is Chizette Cowan, and I am the CEO of Real Estate. And if you know anything about me, I help realtors build a business that funds, not runs their life. And even as a dual career agent, there are things that you can do to help you be successful as an agent that I don't think a lot of people think about. So in this video, I'm going to give you a lot of tips and a lot of information that you can use to grow your business systematically, even while 8 hours of your day are occupied, or should I say scheduled to do other things, meaning i.e. your job. Well, let's get into the content. I'm going to start this video with giving you 5 honest truths that no one tells you about. These are 5 things that are a reality. And even though we don't want them to be a reality, sometimes the most sobering thing you can do as a business owner is face reality. So let's get into these 5. The first one is time is your most valuable currency. You have to understand that you don't need more time. A lot of people feel like, oh, I have a job, so I don't really have the time to dedicate to real estate. That's not true. You have time. You just need to get into the habit of maximizing the time that you do have. I want you to understand, and I tell agents this a lot, you can do more with a faithful hour than somebody does with 8 hours that they don't value. So don't think that time is not on your side. It's a valuable currency. You just have to treat it like that. Number 2, you cannot serve everyone. Very early, especially while you have your job as a funding source, niche down early. Saving everyone means you're not going to serve anyone. Pick a niche market. First time home buyers, investors, move up buyers, downsizing buyers. Pick a market that you can niche in so that you can speak directly to those people and connect with them in a greater way. It's hard to really try to talk to everybody. And since time is of the essence, especially where dual career is concerned, a niche market is really going to help you. Figure out where your passion is, who you want to help the most, and then serve them. Number 3, the hustle culture will burn you out. You don't need to rise to the level of your hustle. Here's what you have to understand. That causes burnout. Real success is sustainable over a long period of time. So I'm going to be systematic and I'm not going to hustle my way through it. I see agents that are working from sun up to sundown instead of creating systems that allow them to work smarter, not harder. Which brings me to my next point. Systems save your sanity. You don't rise to the level of your hustle, you fall to the level of your systems. Meaning you could have all the hustle in the world. If you don't have systems, it's not going to work, especially when you're spending 8 hours a day working for somebody else. The last thing is consistency over intensity. It's not about doing everything at once. It's what you can do long term, repeatedly over a long period of time. So don't ever get to the point where you're dedicating 5 hours a day to doing something because that's intense. But you can't do that over a long period of time without burning out. Because remember, you're working 8 hours a day. So when I talk to people about lead generation, I'm talking about, let's just use it, consistency over intensity. Spend an hour a day interacting with people about real estate and social media. An hour, right? God can do more with that faithful, consistent hour than you could ever do by hustling 24 hours, being out in front of everybody. That is what leads to the burnout. I think one of the tragedies that I see in real estate is people that are dual career, they end up burning out because they feel like doing the most is going to get them there faster. It's not. Rome wasn't built in a day. You're building a business. This is why the SBA says it takes 5 years to get a business off the ground. If you're a dual career, I would put another 1 or 2 years on that. You don't have to. However, if you have systems and you understand the power of consistency, you can start to get things to work for you that will not burn you out. And that's the number one thing as a dual career agent that you're always going to be on guard against burnout. So never forget these 5 truths. Now let's get into the mistakes that not knowing these truths produce. Number one is working with every lead. You got to have boundaries. Chasing rentals and tire kickers at midnight, that's not what you want to do. I would recommend, like a lot of people feel like, well, if a client comes to me, I have to take them. You don't. Set a standard for your business. For example, if I was a dual career agent, I would refer renters out. Renters will take a lot of time and you won't make a lot of money. However, renters have the ability to be buyers later. So you can continue the relationship with them, but let somebody else serve them on the rental so that you can continue chasing a bigger opportunity. It doesn't mean you don't care, but just understand that you cannot work with every single person because we have a limited amount of time. With the time that we do have, we want to make sure that we're appealing, speaking to, and helping the right customer. Mistake number two, not using a CRM, customer relationship manager. Everything that you do in your business should be documented somewhere. That's what your CRM is for. Trying to remember every name, every follow up is mental chaos. That's what leads to the burnout because people think burnout comes from just actively working. It comes from the things that the acrobatics that you do in your mind as well. So, what the CRM does is, and I just finished a call with a client, I put notes in here. Here's what we talked about. She asked me to follow up with her 2 weeks. I set a reminder in my CRM for 2 weeks. Now I can push that out of my head. I don't have to think about her, remember to follow up with her in 2 weeks. I'm going to get an alert when it's time to call her, and then I'll make the necessary contact that I need to. So not having a CRM, not having a database is going to be a mistake, especially for dual career agents, because if there's one thing that you have to be on top of, it's follow up, and the CRM will help you do that. I have tons of video in my YouTube library about follow up. Go check some of those out. Mistake number three is not having a personal brand. You cannot be invisible online. You just become another licensed agent just taking up space. People have to see you. Let people see that you're a dual career agent. Let people see that you're a working mom. Let people see who you are, because at the end of the day, when you're starting your real estate business, you are the product. People are going to connect with you. You are going to connect with people that will specifically want to use you because they're an entrepreneur and they want to learn how to be a dual career agent, or they want to learn how to start a business while they're working a job. And they could be looking at your content because they see you in that same lane, but they can live somewhere. They got to live somewhere. They got to rent somewhere. They got to buy somewhere. They got to sell somewhere. So you having the presence online empowers them to learn about you as a person, connect with you as a person, which that's what building a brand is about. And then on the back end, it gives you the relationships you need to deal with the real estate business when the opportunity presents itself. So mistake number four is trying to be available 24/7. You're not a robot. If you never unplug, you'll never last. I heard this quote and I thought it was so powerful. He said, if you're never fully off, how can you ever fully be on? I was like, oh, that's good. I like that. There has to be a time when your phone is off. So mistake number five is not treating your business like a business. And I'm telling you, I can get on my soapbox right here. Real estate is not a side hustle. It's a scalable business. Don't treat it like a side hustle. When I say don't treat it like a side hustle, don't just be wheeling and dealing out here trying to get any deal, do anything. Because if you treat it like a hustle, it's going to treat you like a hustle. But if you build it like a business and you respect the business behind it, it will help you meet your goals and meet your dreams. But if you are constantly just trying to figure out and do anything to make money, you're going to constantly be in that space. Hustlers don't build business. Hustlers make money. The goal of real estate is to build wealth. Wealth takes time to build, which means you got to build a system, not hustle. Now that we've got into these 5 truths, these 5 mistakes, I want to give you 5 things that you can do to avoid burnout. The first thing is you want to create a time-blocked weekly routine. Work on your business in what I call power pockets: before work, during lunch, after work, and on weekends. Meaning time block 15, 20, 30 minutes, an hour if you can, 2 hours if you can, before work, during lunch, after work, on the weekends. And be consistent. Make that a time blocked calendar. Example, you might do your follow up on Monday evenings from 5 to 7. And you'll take that whole time, the 2 hour time block, and follow up with everybody from the previous week to set up your CRMs, to put your notes in, to put your reminders in. Tuesday, you may do lead generation. Wednesday, you may do content day during your lunch break. Be consistent with this. The Bible calls it faithfulness. When you are faithful over small time blocks, small increments of time, small things in your business, the Bible says that you'll be made ruler over much. So number two, automate everything you can. Don't call people to set up appointments. Get a Calendly link so you can send them an email with the link in it and let them schedule it based on your availability. Set up autoresponders, CRM drips. Buy back your time and buy back your brain power and buy back your energy through automation. Figure out what aspects of what you're doing. This is why you got to document what you're doing first. But figure out what aspects of what you're doing can be automated and what tools you can use to automate that. Calendly is one. I used to call people and say, hey, are you free Thursday at 4? Now I can shoot them an email and say, hey, I have availability this week. Here's my calendar. Please schedule a time that works for you and I'll meet you there. So now I don't have to go back and forth. No, this time doesn't work. They have a link. I have availability. They schedule and we're done. So number three, focus on one lead generation channel. I cannot stress this enough. Whether it's Instagram, open houses, referral, master one thing before adding others. You're working every day. You have a limited amount of time. Focus is going to be your best friend. When you focus on something, it expands, you get better at it exponentially. But when you spread yourself thin, nothing ever gets 100% of your time. And if nothing ever gets 100% of your time, you never get to mastery. People don't pay for everything, they pay for mastery. Let me tell you how you know this. Just give you an example. Doctors, general practitioners, they don't make a lot of money, maybe 150, 250 a year. But now, a surgeon that specializes in oncology or cancer treatment, specifically for brain disorders, that's a specialized field. They'll make millions because the skill set that they've developed or the field of study that they've went in is something that is mastery. They have to have master level skills and master level education in order to have that. So they're always going to make more money. So I want you to think about, what can I master? And the only thing you can master is what you focus on. And you can't focus on two things at once. I don't care what anybody says. Multitasking is a myth. Read Gary Keller's book, The One Thing. What is the one thing that by doing it makes everything else easier or unnecessary? And then do that thing. What is the one lead generation channel? You could be really good on Instagram. Then figure out how to master Instagram. You can be really good at open houses. Set your weekends up to do open houses, but figure out how to master open houses. And by mastering open houses, the follow-up system is attached to it. Instagram, the follow-up system attached to it. Whatever it is, master. Number four, protect your energy. You are the engine of your business. Guard your sleep, guard your peace, guard your space. You have to understand that the business is a reflection of you. It grows to the extent that you do. It is burnt out, installed to the extent that you do, and you are. So make sure you're protecting your energy, but also to take it a little further, make sure you're taking the time to give yourself some of the things that you need to be successful. For me, I take a lot of baths. I go out with friends. I do massages. I do things that slow me down and allow me to have the best energy because I need that energy for my business. Number five, build a CEO identity early. This is why I coined myself the CEO of real estate. I'm building a business. I'm not babysitting a hobby. I'm not hustling. I am building a Fortune 500 company. I developed that mindset when it was just me and I was just calling leads on the expired list. You have to adopt that mindset early because that identity now becomes the way you carry yourself in business, the way you run your business. So this is what I tell people. The reason why I can cut my phone off on Friday at 5 and not pick it up until Monday at 9 is because doctors do it. They're CEOs. They cut their business off. They make plenty of money. I'm not a hustler, so I don't have to be on 24/7. These are the things that are going to help you save yourself from burnout. And here's the thing. If you are a dual career agent, you're already working. Part of your energy is already expended in the morning parts. So you're going to have to figure out how to protect the energy that you do have and make useful means of it. These are the things that I wanted to share with you. Here's what I would tell you. If I had to go back and coach any agent that's a dual career, I would tell them to stop trying to prove that you could do it all. Be smarter, build smarter, not harder. I'd say invest in coaching to figure out what things are going to be beneficial to your business. Because a lot of times we spend time doing things that don't matter. and we spend time doing things that are not going to move the business forward. So here's what I tell people: social media posting is great, but actively connecting with people is better. Don't spend an hour creating these elaborate posts that are just so beautiful, but you ain't connected with no person. People buy houses, the little pretty content thing that you did, a little graphic, somebody gonna look at it and hit like and keep moving. That is not gonna get you business. So don't spend time doing things that don't build your business or help it grow. And then the last thing is, remember that balance is built, it's not found. You don't find balance, you build balance. And here's how you build it: by figuring out where it's needed and figuring out what you need to do to add it into those areas. So for me, very early, time was a balance that I needed. I needed time back. So I stopped working with buyers, not because I didn't like working with buyers, but because buyers require 20, 30 hours of just going out into the community looking at houses. I started to refer that business out. I leveraged it. Why? Because it was giving me the balance that I needed to be able to work on the back end of my business. And I know it sounds counterintuitive to say to a realtor working a full-time job, if I get a buyer, I should refer it out. Yes, refer it out for a 50% referral fee. Let somebody else work that business and you get 50% and they get 50%. Here's the beauty in that: if you do that 5 times, you got 5 people working your deals, you've made 50% of 5 transactions without ever having to do anything outside of your normal day, outside of your normal follow up. You didn't get in your car and spend your whole weekend away from your kids because you're already spending the work time away, and you still need to rest. So, this is what I'm saying: that balance is built, it's not found. And if I can encourage you, I want you to understand that you're not behind. There's a reason that God has you building a business while working. And here's what I want you to know: your job is a funding source, the bank for your business. Make sure you get the bang for your buck from your job. If you're a dual career agent and trying to grow yourself without losing yourself in the process, I want you to drop a comment here. But I also have a class that will help you learn how to build it. And that link is going to be here. It's a class on how to build a lead generation system as a dual career agent. And that's what I want you to tune in. I'm going to put a link in here for you to register for that. And I look forward to staying connected with you. My name is Chizette Cowan. I am the CEO of Real Estate, and I will see you in the next video.